Previously on TikTok recipes that may kill you, or at least make you seriously ill, we've tested raw meat sandwiches, various disgraceful pasta bakes and casseroles, the red wine pie that was a disaster, and I think it's time that we add to the anarchy. On this installment, we're going to be starting out strong with what seems like the constant in all these videos, the Shaba Kitchen and her cheesy hot dog bake, then switching gears and trying out Jane Brain's smiley face burger meatloaf thing, then gumming up our insides with this train wreck that is a garlic parm chicken pasta, and finishing off by getting in touch with my ethnicity and heritage and trying this orange Jello salad nastiness. I can already feel all of your shock and awe through the screen, but let's get right into this one. I'm fairly certain that I've had nightmares about this woman, the Shaba Kitchen. She has appeared in every one of these types of videos, so why not keep the streak going and make her hot dog cheesy bake? I grabbed some ketchup and mustard and pickle chips, some giant hot dogs, which by the way were $15, what a great sale. Some shredded cheddar cheese and American cheese, an onion, garlic, and a green bell pepper, flour tortillas, butter, and fresh parsley. If you could believe it, this is actually one of the most normal recipes that she has on her page. I wanted something that was not very clearly satire and like a waste of food. At least this looks edible. Unlike a lot of other stuff on her page that might look ridiculous to us, but is still good enough to fool the average Facebook grandmother. For these, I very simply chopped up my peppers and onions. I whipped up that garlic butter that is gonna go on the rolls for some reason. I very meticulously wrapped all my gigantic hot dogs up before realizing that they're supposed to get cheese inside. God damn it. In my head, I knew that this was gonna get a layer of American cheese on top before getting popped in the oven to let everything warm up and melt, so why do we need a second cheese inside? I don't know. But with a good slathering of that garlic butter, a nice even layer of the American cheese, and then a dousing of everything else, from the ketchup and mustard, our chopped up veggies, and the pickles. It's definitely eye-catching. You can't deny that. It kind of resembles one of those abstract art installations. Either that or something a very young child would throw together for their lunch, but once I got it plated up with an attempted condiment little swirly design there, I guess it's time to taste this thing. Keeping in mind, I have not eaten yet today, so I am quite hungry. This is very good. There's nothing flavor-wise to not like about it. It's just a cheddar cheese dog that you'd buy at a baseball game with a tortilla instead of a bun, a lot of normal toppings. Although this thing would single-handedly win you the Bad Breath Olympics, especially with the addition of the garlic butter in there. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy what I just ate, so a surprisingly pleasant start to this one. Next up today on our descent into disaster is another reoccurring character in this video series. It is Jane Brain and her incredibly unique and borderline horrifying smiley face burger meatloaf. I grabbed some Lay's chips and garlic powder, shredded cheese and butter, heavy cream, some ground beef, salt and pepper, lots of eggs, and fresh parsley. There are just countless things that I could sit here and say about this recipe. For one, I do think this one is leaning way more satirical. I don't think she actually considered anyone recreating this themselves. Mostly because this thing is just straight up terrifying. When it's halfway done cooked and all that bloody looking liquid comes out of the beef and into the egg eyeballs and make them look all bloodshot, it's straight out of a horror movie. And then even at the end when she says, "I'm excited to try this. How good does this look?" My sister in Christ, you know you're lying to yourself. That does not look good in any sense of the word. It actually looks drier than a hardtack that's been recovered from a 16th century sailboat. Potato chips are not meant to be steamed in burger grease and then turned into some kind of demented version of mashed potatoes. No matter how much heavy cream or butter or cheese or parsley you add, I can't imagine this is going to be a very pleasant texture. And when I attempted to flip this bastardized food Oy, ay, ay, ay. The only redeeming part of this recipe is the unique look, and I botched it. Completely fell apart. This is saying a lot, but this one's gotta be one of the most cursed recipes in the history of this channel. I've got nothing to say. Ugh. Well, if you were expecting some culinary breakthrough, I'm sad to report, this misses the mark. This is horrific. The beef is so dry and flavorless. It's like chewing on the sole of a boot. The eggs are cooked to hell and borderline inedible, and these mushed up potatoes they're just foul. They are greasy. They are a weird texture of like gummy squidginess. I don't actually think I could say I've ever experienced anything like these potatoes. And they're so greasy. They absorbed all that fat that rendered out of the beef, plus the butter. If Gordon Ramsay has not reacted to this already, I beg one day he does. Come on, you didn't actually think we could get through one of these videos without making one of those gut-gluing chicken one-pot pasta casserole bakes. And for today's version, we've got this crock pot garlic parmesan chicken pasta. I grabbed cream and Buffalo Wild Wings Parmesan garlic sauce, some penne and all-purpose seasoning, and a shredded cheese blend, some cream cheese, and some fresh garlic, and then a lot of chicken breasts. On the grand scheme of all of the casserole-style chicken, pasta, whatever bakes, this actually isn't that bad, especially when you compare them to some of the ones that use full blocks of Velveeta cheese. Nothing that we're using here feels out of place at all, and I especially love that outside of whatever kind of starch you elect to use, this is genuinely a one-pot sauce preparation. You throw your chicken, the entire bottle of the garlic parm sauce, whatever kind of dairy you like, an entire 8-ounce bag of shredded cheese, some of the devil cream, which I am reluctantly thinking it will be fine in this. There's just so much else going on. I don't think it's going to stand out more than all the other stuff. Cover it up and then let it go for a couple hours until that chicken is cooked all the way through, until it looks bubbly and a little bit reduced. And I've always wanted to try this, so I whipped it out today, shredding up your chicken breasts with a hand mixer. It worked shockingly well, spoiler. I didn't think this was gonna work even half as good. I was imagining the chicken just flying everywhere. But I added that right back to the pot. I boiled off my noodle of choice, combined them together, and then that's pretty much it. I'm gonna judge this just as I do anything else, taste-wise at least. But it already has to get some points for how hands-off and easy it was. I gotta say, this smells amazing. It smells very reminiscent of like chicken ramen, maybe with a little Italian seasoning. It's pretty good. There's nothing overtly bad to say about it. The pasta and the chicken are cooked very well. It's very creamy and rich, as you can imagine. It gives like a frozen meal that just came out of the microwave. Something like a Stouffer's, or maybe a chain restaurant that microwaves their food. Not necessarily a bad thing. If I could add or change one thing, I would have added some kind of heat in the sauce stage, whether that's cayenne, red pepper flakes, just because it's very rich. It's very one note. Overall, fairly good. It's definitely worth giving it a shot, maybe tweaking some ingredients a bit. And today's fourth and final deadly sin may just be the worst of them all, because for this one, we're heading down to Southern America and trying this orange Jello salad. I grabbed some mini marshmallows and canned pineapple and mandarin oranges, whipped topping and cottage cheese, and a lot of orange Jello. Ironically enough, this is the one and only recipe today that I know for a fact is a real thing. There's something called ambrosia out there that I've unfortunately come in contact with. Also, a bunch of you guys saw my Instagram picture of when I was making this and confirmed that your family or somebody you know also makes some variation of this. I just don't understand. I don't think I ever will, but maybe you guys can help me out. Cool Whip and 3 packs of Jello, sure. You might be flirting with pre-diabetes, but it should be palatable. How about some canned mandarin oranges and crushed pineapple? Okay, how about some mini marshmallows? Yes, please. Maybe the ratio is a bit off, but this looks like something I'd be willing to taste. So maybe we should just take a but nope! We have to dump a whole pound of cottage cheese in here. Why? Nearly every godless concoction of this sort that I've come across does the same thing. It is a bunch of ingredients that look okay, and then just one curveball to ruin the bunch. I've seen sour cream, I've seen mayonnaise, this time it's cottage cheese. I just don't get it. For what it's worth, I just gave my mom a bowl and she's upstairs happily eating it. So take whatever you please from that. As for me, not excited. Making my flesh crawl. This is disgusting, guys. I'm sorry if you love this. I do feel bad yucking people's yum, and I know a lot of people like this crap. It's just too much. It's the cottage cheese is so out of place. I feel like we need to have a board that votes on who can use the word salad in their food, like the Italians do with their Parmesan cheese. Because I don't know who in their right mind thought to call this a salad. This is just like a slimy, I don't know. For research's sake, before I damned that mixture with all the cottage cheese, I pulled a little bit out, just because this is all things that I would eat. It's way better for sure, but it's still so sweet. It hurts your teeth as you eat it, and it's just an odd combination of flavor and texture. If you are someone out there who loves this and are thinking I'm being too hard, feel free to let me know in the comments. I'm sure you were already typing it up. But for me, it just doesn't do it. I think I'd rather take another bite of that smiley face beef tack.
With the M without the AD. Flipping burgers and my money super lazy. Try and make a meal tonight, they ain't paying me. Try and supersize my life with my 18. Yeah, our style wasn't wavy, but we had a vision.